Family. I think about this every once in a while. What it means and what makes one. For us human types, we grow up thinking it's our parents, grandparents, siblings if we got them, maybe cousins and the like. Or that weird best mate of your parents, they keep calling you uncle or your aunt. But what about them that don't have any of those? They say you can always depend on family, but who do they depend on? Come to think of it, who do I depend on? When blood relations aren't in the picture, who becomes family? Oi, Ripper, I can't find my flask. You seen it? The silver one with the fancy etching. Ripper? Oi, Threadripper, where are you?
I'm in here, Val. In the office. By the filing cabinet.
Mate, you sound exhausted and... Whoa. You alright there? You don't look so great.
Yeah, just really tired. Probably too many late nights in a row. Zero and I, we started a new game and we're recruiting other tech pixies into our guild.
I'm sure it's enthralling. But that doesn't explain why you're on the floor.
Eh? Oh, I didn't realize that I had landed. I'll catch a nap on my break. Your flask, though. You loaned it to Zero. Remember? He asked the other day.
Oh, no I didn't. Wait. That sneaky... I'll figure it out later. Ripper, I think you should call it a day. In all the years I've known you, you've never been this tired, even after a run of all-nighters.
Yeah, okay.
Know what, why don't you just crash on the couch here until you can perk up enough to get home? Want some help?
Help? No, I'm... Actually, yeah, help would be good.
Threadripper reaches for me and I pick her up, being extra careful of her wings. She weighs almost nothing. I don't know why it surprises me. I bring her to the couch in the other room. An abandoned sweater from a past client hangs on a hook near the door, so I grab it for her to use as a blanket. Well, a nest is a more accurate description. It strikes me then. For being all of 2 feet, I never realised how fragile a tech pixie can look. The thought just doesn't sit right. I get my electric kettle filled up, ready to switch on and make her some tea when she wakes up. And nothing else to do but work.
Threadripper? Valentine, where's Threadripper?
Shh! You'll wake her up. She's over there on the couch. You flew right by her.
Oh no. Hey, Threadripper. Gotta wake up now. Come on. Wiggly's gonna mess up your paperwork.
Hey! Let her sleep. Poor girl's exhausted from all that late night gaming. She must have been really wiped out.
Wobbles, take a closer look. Come here. Look closer.
Hey! Ow! That's my ear!
I know. I hate your ear too. Now look at her.
I'm looking. Oh. I stare at the pixie asleep on the couch. Even wrapped up as she is in the nest, I can see her shivering, and what little bit of her is poking out the top is just off. Her colours are all wrong, like someone ran a picture of her through too many instant filters for the internet. Every now and then her piercings pop and spark, like she's got little bits of magic trying to fire off.
Now do you get it? She went offline, and then her bracelet started pinging me. Valentine, tech pixies are almost always online in one way or another. She went offline. She's not the only one either. A lot of them are.
How many are we talking?
The numbers keep climbing. They're disconnecting like it's dial-up. I tried to get info, but it's not my strong point to begin with. It's hers. But there's almost no info to get. Valentine.
Whoa, too close.
We have to help her. I mean them. All of them.
Breathe, Zero Day. I'm not arguing that. She's my best mate. Of course I'll help. Call us a favour to her?
You have a deal.
Alright then. Where do we start?
There's not a lot that can make a pixie sick, especially not like this. There's something going on with my magic too, so it's gotta be connected. I'm guessing there's a weird power source, probably one that doesn't want to follow the usual lines.
So why are you not keeling over?
Because I know how to deal with it.
And Threadripper doesn't? What makes you so special there?
Ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies. That's one of your human expressions, right? This is kind of a big deal, and we don't have time for you to fail miserably at figuring out my word twisting.
I knew that was deliberate.
Of course it is. Can you please concentrate?
Right, so, figure out the power. You got anything that can track it?
Right, that was... Hang on a sec.
Zero Day reaches into his pocket. I know he keeps a lot in there, but he starts pulling things out of it that should not fit, and leaves them in a pile in the middle of the floor. Eventually, he pulls out a small box and opens it up to reveal a heap of earrings. He picks through them and replaces a few in his ears. I'm not sure what they do, but the last one starts sparking the moment it touches his ear.
Got that! Ow.
Need help?
Not from those meat slabs you call hands. I got this. Ouch! Okay, that smarts. Whoa. That can't be right. Hold on. Valentine here.
What are these? Antenna for some device?
No. Those are basic dowsing rods. We find a pulse in the energy, we can follow the rods to the source. You better get that magic sight tattoo going or grab a murder buzz. It'll make the job easier.
Right. And you can't do it yourself because...
We just talked about the whole questions thing. All I can say is that if I tried it right now, it would lead me in circles.
Hold on a tick. I don't feel right leaving Ripper behind. I'm gonna find something to carry her with.
No, you're not. Seriously, think for a minute. We're looking for the source of energy that's making her sick. You want to take her closer to that?
Well, we can't just leave her here alone. Not like this. What if she gets worse?
I've got a friend over at Sanctuary who insists they owe me a favor. Let me text them and call it in.
The bugger sends his text, and 10 minutes later, his friend shows up sweating as if they ran the whole way. I'm not sure I want to know what the message said. Finally, I activate the smiley face tattoo and get my second sight going, and grab a can of the sugary swill as backup. Guilty as I feel for it, we leave Threadripper to the care of Zero's friend and head out. Almost as unnerving as her state is, the fact I can see the worry on Zero Day's face. Pixies are usually hard to read, but it's almost like he's not even trying to hide it, even behind his glamour. Soon as we're on the pavement, he starts meandering a moment. First this way, then that, muttering the whole time, while I try not to give away how antsy I'm feeling. Finally, he stops and waves me over.
Alright, those dowsing rods. Bring them over here. No, I mean right here. Hang on. Let me back off. And... okay, follow that buzz.
Alright, we follow this one and find the source.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, he says. You know, there's a good chance we could end up walking a while. You might as well give me one straight answer.
You know that's not likely.
Even if after all this is done, I tell you why it took you 400 years to get a date. You don't need to look so shocked, of course she told me.
Right, yeah, she'd remember those for 100. Okay, fine.
Why so long? Why her?
Nope.
What do you mean, no?
I mean, no, that's not the question I'm answering. I said I'd answer one. I didn't say it would be the first one. Plus, that was 2 questions. Try again.
Okay. I'm going out on a limb and guessing you're not answering anything about the history you two have.
Ding ding, we have a winner.
Alright, wise guy. How about this one? Why are you doing just fine and dandy while my best mate is down for the count?
That... I can't... Okay, so, us pixies soak up energy, right? We can't help that. The most important energy we get is what radiates off your human technology.
Interesting, please get on with it.
You gotta hear the whole thing if it's gonna make sense.
Right, fine, sorry.
Okay, we pick up the energies and we basically convert it to magic. This stuff is incompatible with what we're used to.
Yet somehow you can absorb this stuff and not get sick.
It's a skill, takes some practice. And that's where things are gonna get muddy for you again.
But you never thought to teach Threadripper.
I didn't think she would ever have to use it. She shouldn't have ever needed it. How am I supposed to explain that? Hey, Thread, here's this useless skill that you'll never get to practice and you'll probably never need. I wouldn't even be able to tell her how I know how to do it.
You're keeping secrets from her.
exactly have a choice about it.
Right, of course. Just like you don't exactly have a choice about being a total git.
And you don't have a choice about being the most boring crayon in the box.
That one doesn't even make sense. Wait. Zero, you overgrown housefly, you drifted too close. Back off. Ah, I lost the signal.
Great. Now I gotta find it again. You could have walked a little faster, you know. Then I wouldn't have gotten so close.
Excuse me, but I'd rather not fall on my face because you don't got anything better than bleeding dowsing rods to follow this.
I really wish I did. Signal picks up here, by the way. As soon as they quit pulling toward me, get moving. The faster we find the energy leak, the sooner we can check on Threadripper.
I force myself to concentrate on the pull of the dowsing rods. It jukes through a parking lot and an alleyway before it leads us back to Albert Street and up onto Vic Avenue. I'm not sure exactly when it happens, but eventually the invisible energy becomes a thin but visible flow. It's almost silvery, but shimmers like a pixie's glamour. It's not the easiest thing to see, and not near as bright as the usual lines, but it's easier to follow. I only need the stupid rods to check which direction to go before whenever it branches off. Eventually, it leads us to Victoria Park. As we get closer to it, the rods practically jump out of my hands. Even after they fall to the ground, they keep vibrating. I take a look around and I can hardly believe what I'm seeing. The shimmering strand we've been following leads to more of the same, all tangled together like a giant web from a drunk spider demon. I might be reading more into this than what's there, but I'd say we're pretty close. Zero Day? Zero, what's got into you?
Nothing. I'm good. Just need a breather. It's just a little overwhelming this close.
That grin of yours is really creeping me out.
If I could stop, I would, but I literally can't.
You want me to smack it off your face? I'd be happy to do that for you free of charge.
Yeah, no, wouldn't work anyway. Look, just give me a couple minutes. You go do your investigator thing and I'll catch up when I can.
Right. I roll my eyes, but he just keeps grinning and sets himself on a bench nearby. I shake my head in irritation and press onward toward the grass. No point in asking the Cheshire Cat for an explanation. The strands of energy keep getting thicker and more wild as I make my way through them. I keep having to remind myself not to swat them away. It won't help, and the average folks just think I'd gone mad. It gets so thick that I can barely see reality through them, and then it suddenly opens up, a big old bubbling normal in a cocoon of energy. Well, normal, except for the fact it's got a random ring of mushrooms with a swirling column of magic in it, feeding all those ropes and strands. I'm guessing that's the source of the problem. I hurry back to where I left Zero Day. Whether he gives them to me or not, he's got answers. I found the source.
That was a bit faster than I expected.
Considering you're still sitting here, I'd say so. You pull yourself together yet?
Just about. Whoa!
Great!
Watch the wing!
We're going right into the heart of that.
Not ready, not ready!
No time for you to be ready, mate. I bundled the pixie under my arm like an American football and start walking back into the mess. Zero Day kicks and flails the entire time, and I try not to see his glamour or the looks on the faces of passers-by. He's practically buzzing. Scratch that, actually buzzing by the time we make it through the cocoon. I point him at the pillar and let him go.
Oh no. This shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be possible.
What is it?
It was sealed off. It's not supposed to open. Especially not here.
Zero Day. What is that?
That there is an energy fountain. Usually pretty rare. Usually not a big deal. Except they usually don't come spilling out of a portal to a sealed off realm in the middle of a city, and they usually aren't toxic to most pixies.
Not toxic to humans, though, is it?
Nope. And clearly not toxic to morons either. Just pixies.
Sealed off realm, huh? Well, why don't you wait here for a spell? I'm going in to see if I can't figure out what set this off, and we'll seal it up once I get back.
No, that's... Idiot is gonna get himself trapped in there. Better follow him or Thread will never forgive me. Human ear, slug-brained, senseless goat...
As soon as I'm on the other side of the portal, I realise I should have deactivated the true sight before I went through. Magic permeates everything completely. Tall, skinny trees surround me, dripping with vines and curtains of brilliant green. Jewel bright flowers are scattered around, and behind me is a ring of colourful mushrooms. I'm about to get a closer look when Zero Day bursts through the air above it.
Kissing toad breath, son of a
Do you need a minute? Again? Seriously, what has gotten into you? Laughing up a storm and... Oh look, now you decided to start dripping sparkles like some kind of princess. What about any of this is so bleeding funny?
None of it. You don't understand.
Okay, so make me understand.
It's just so much magic.
Zero.
I can't bleed it out fast enough.
Still not any clearer. Are you about to end up sick like Threadripper? I told you to wait for me.
Well, you get in over your head with fairies? Not a chance.
Fairies? You mean we're in the Never Never? Wait, is this place supposed to make the lot of you extremely powerful?
That's the rumor.
Gonna have to do better than that. If this place being open is making her sick, I need to understand what I'm shutting down.
Favor for Thread. Come on, Zero, doing a favor for Thread. It's the tech.
Zero.
I'm getting there. Geez, Wiggly, you're asking a word twister to talk straight. There's a reason we're called tech pixies, and it's not just our love of technology. That human ingenuity puts a spark of energy into even the most mundane things. We need that. Like, we would shrivel and die without it. Human technology advanced beyond belief in the last few centuries, and the energies has got more and more incompatible with fairy magic.
At least you stopped the mad giggles. What I'm still not understanding is why the tech energy is what's important. Aren't you basically fairies?
Yes and no. I never bothered to figure that out. Threadripper might have, but if she ever did, she wouldn't be able to tell you. And I mean that in the most literal sense. The hows and whys didn't matter back when I figured out the whats. It just wasn't important. And now there's no way for me to get those answers.
If you don't know that, then tell me why you didn't teach her to block other kinds of magic.
Because it hurts. Look, you can't tell a soul about this. Nobody else knows, and they can't know. We've adapted, and I can't... Valentine, pixies don't do family the way humans do. We don't have parents or any of that. There's a lot we just don't know about ourselves, and we don't have anyone to explain it. We don't have anyone to give us advice or look out for us except each other. I'm not cut out to be any kind of role model or guide or anything like that, so I need you to promise you won't tell anyone.
I don't...
Promise me, Valentine.
Alright. I promise.
The truth is, us pixies don't get nearly as much magic as we need. I don't know where we came from, but I do know that we're made to be filled with lethal amounts of energy at all times. The others, they don't know, and it's better that way. Thread, she doesn't even notice how low she is anymore, and I can't let her feel it. She's happy, and I can't take that from her.
Wait, you're saying...
I'm not saying anything anymore. We have stuff to do. Come on, Wobbles.
As I get thinking about all the new information, it hits a little too close to home. Everything I thought I understood about pixies begins to shatter in slow motion. I try to ask him some roundabout questions as we make our way through the forest, and he responds by talking so backwards it makes my head spin.
It's more like a penguin than a piranha, though. I'm not sure why I even brought up the piranhas. But a blue one. It's more like a blue penguin.
How does a blue penguin relate to... Ashen hells, I can't even remember what I asked you.
What a shame. I thought it was getting nice and poetic there.
Poetic? You went off on at least 8 tangents before I lost track.
Nice. Bonus points.
Right. Of course you're playing some kind of game. Do you know where we're going?
Not even an inkling.
Have you ever been here before?
Never.
Wait. The Great Zero Day, the pixie of many secrets, has never been to the fairy realm.
No pixie has. Never have we ever been into the Never Never.
So we're completely lost.
That's not what I said.
Generally, when a person says...
Human. when a human says. Or shifter, I guess. Probably the vamps. Not sure about the sirens yet. Or, well, anyway. Try that statement again, from the top.
You are the most insufferable little...
Did you just call me little?
You bet I did, small fry.
If we weren't in the middle of a favor for Threadripper right now, I would totally turn you into Capybara. Leave you that way for a day or two.
As if you could. Hold up, when did you stop sparkling?
Oh, that? Back probably 3 tangents before you decided to get uppity. The tree started looking at me funny.
Right, the trees. Zero, last I checked, trees don't have eyes.
Just like walls don't have ears.
That's something else, and you know it.
Really, Jostle? You pay attention to anything, ever?
Of course I do.
Uh-huh. Look up.
Look up. Why, what's... Oh.
So human.
It takes me a moment to process what I'm seeing. The trees we've been walking through are mostly normal, that is, until just above eye level. From there, the branches grow in twisted patterns to form small houses, and some reach across open spaces to weave into bridges. We're standing right underneath a city. Dozens of eyes peek through the shadows, and figures dart about just at the corner of my eye. Finally, one decides to get bold. They fly in from out of nowhere and tackle Zero Day with a squeal. I'm about to fire up a tattoo to help the little bugger out when I see he's more annoyed than anything. The figure hugging him isn't much different from a pixie, but she's a bit less androgynous. Her wings are more round and her coloration is far more earthy. I'm guessing this is a fairy.
You're here! You finally made it! We've missed you so much!
Going by Zero Day. That's my name now.
We thought the king put a curse on all of you.
Yeah, he decided I was a special case.
Oh, you never change. How are the others? Or, oh, what was their name? Mugwort? Myrtle? I can never remember your cute little names.
They're fine. Totally fine.
Oh, you're back! It's been ages!
He goes by Zero Day now. Isn't that just adorable?
They've started taking new names? How cute!
Cute.
Not now.
Isn't it though?
Oh, I've just had a wonderful idea. We can gather everyone in the square and hear what he's been up to.
Actually, I'm in a bit of a...
Oh, yes. That's perfect. You'll have to tell us some stories. This way. When are the rest coming?
What do you mean the rest?
Oh, Zero Day. You picked up another stray human.
Stray?
He's not mine, but I got the same question. And when did you decide to take up the pixie look?
We finally figured out a spell for it about a century back. It's a little off, though. None of you were around to model for us. But now you're here, and we can get it right. It should only take a few decades.
Hold up, you actually want to look like these blighters? And you actually think that... Ow! Did you just punch my ear?
Yeah? Play it close to the vest, Wiggly. Close as you can. Kids these days. They just don't understand pixie aesthetics. So, what gave you the idea to do that?
We wanted to get the king to let you all join us here. We finally agreed to open the gate. He said he's going to bring all his children to stay here with us forever. Isn't that just wonderful?
Those words hit like a brick to the gut. From the look of horror on Zero Day's face, I'm guessing he's feeling that tenfold. He looks at me, and for once, I can tell exactly what he's thinking. We cannot let that happen.